A metal collar locked around his neck, a bomb wired to the frame. He walked into the bank, not to rob it, but to survive. The timer began at 60 minutes. He never stood a chance. August 28th, 2003. Erie, Pennsylvania. A 46-year-old man named Brian Wells clocked in for his shift at Mamma Mia's Pizzeria. He had worked there for 10 years. He delivered pizzas. He lived alone. He was described by those who knew him as childlike. Just after 1:30 p.m., the pizzeria received a call from a payphone at a nearby gas station. The owner couldn't understand the customer. He passed the phone to Brian. The order was for 2 pizzas. Delivery to 8631 Peach Street. A dirt road, the end of it, a television transmitting tower. What happened at that tower would become what the FBI called one of the most complicated and bizarre crimes in their history. A pizza delivery man robbed a bank with a bomb locked to his neck. He told police he was forced. Investigators said he wasn't. His family said he was a victim. The FBI said he was a conspirator. 7 years of investigation would uncover a plot involving a bipolar woman with a master's degree, a crack-dealing fisherman, a handyman who taught shop class, and a fugitive rapist hiding in plain sight. The money was never the point. The money was for a murder, a different one. Brian Wells was born in 1956. He grew up in Erie. He dropped out of high school at 16. He went to work as a mechanic. By 2003, he had been delivering pizzas at Mamma Mia's for a decade. He was quiet. He kept to himself. He frequented prostitutes. One of them knew a man named Kenneth Barnes. Kenneth Barnes was a retired television repairman. He sold crack cocaine. He was diabetic. He was Marjorie Diehl-Armstrong's fishing buddy. Marjorie Diehl-Armstrong was 54 years old. She had a master's degree from Gannon College. She had a bipolar disorder. In 1984, she shot her boyfriend, Robert Thomas, 6 times as he laid on a couch. She was acquitted. She claimed self-defense. Her husband died under suspicious circumstances. Other partners also died under suspicious circumstances. She wanted her father dead. Harold Diehl was spending what she believed was her inheritance. She offered Kenneth Barnes $250,000 to kill him. Barnes agreed. Neither had $250,000. The plan was to rob a bank. The bank robbery would fund the murder. The murder would secure the inheritance. William Rothstein was a handyman and part-time shop teacher. He had dated Diehl-Armstrong in the late 1960s. He was smart. He was not well-adjusted. He belonged to a group of friends who called themselves the Fractured Intellectuals. He lived on Peach Street. He lived with a man named Floyd Stockton. Floyd Stockton was a convicted rapist. He had raped a disabled teenager. He was a fugitive. He was hiding from the law at Rothstein's house. 5 people. A pizza delivery man, a bipolar heiress, a crack dealer, a shop teacher, and a fugitive rapist. They met at Barnes's house. They planned a bank robbery. They built a collar bomb. The device was a hinged metal collar. It locked like handcuffs around the neck. 4 keyholes under the chin. 2 pipe bombs. 2 kitchen timers. An electronic timer hung over the chest. Decoy wires. A toy cell phone. Deceptive warning stickers. It was designed to look impossible to remove. It was designed to kill. On August 27th, 2003, the day before the robbery, Wells was seen leaving Rothstein's house. Investigators believed there was a rehearsal. Wells was told the bomb would be fake. His family said he was forced at gunpoint. The details at the tower were never firmly established, but evidence showed a struggle, and Barnes, Diehl-Armstrong, Rothstein, and Stockton were all there. Brian Wells left the television tower with a bomb locked to his neck. He was given a 9-page note. The note contained detailed instructions. Rob the PNC Bank at Summit Town Center. Take $250,000. Then follow a scavenger hunt. Go to specific locations. Find specific keys. Complete each step to remove the collar. The note was designed to delay. Each step was a mile apart. The timeline was impossible to meet. At 2:28 p.m., Wells walked into the PNC Bank. He approached a teller. He showed the collar. He handed over a note. The note demanded $250,000. The teller gave him $8,702. It was all she had. Wells left the bank. He walked to the parking lot of a nearby McDonald's. He sat on the ground. He was waiting. He was supposed to find his next clue. A state trooper spotted him. Within minutes, Wells was surrounded by police. He was handcuffed. He sat on the pavement. He told the trooper that 4 black men had forced him to wear the bomb. He said they had locked it to his neck at gunpoint. The police called the bomb squad. They did not move him. They did not remove the collar. They stood behind their cars and waited. Wells sat on the asphalt. He begged them to remove the device. He told them it was going to explode, but no one on the scene knew how to remove it. The collar was designed by Rothstein. It was built to look unremovable. 4 keyholes, decoy wires, false components. The bomb squad was 11 minutes away. At 3:18 p.m., the collar bomb detonated. Brian Wells was sitting on the pavement, surrounded by police. The explosion killed him instantly. The blast was heard blocks away. It tore open his chest. He died in front of 50 witnesses. Then, the investigation began. The FBI arrived. They searched Wells' house. They found nothing. No bomb-making materials, no evidence of involvement. 3 days later, Wells's friend and co-worker, Robert Pinetti, died of what was ruled an accidental drug overdose. The case was getting stranger. By September 2003, William Rothstein called 911. He reported a body in his freezer. The body was James Roden. Roden was diehl-Armstrong's boyfriend. She had shot him before August 28th, before the robbery, before the bomb. She killed him to keep him quiet. She stuffed his body in Rothstein's freezer. Then Rothstein called the police on her. The investigation took 7 years. The FBI interviewed diehl-Armstrong 8 times. She talked. She denied. She accused Rothstein. She accused Barnes. She requested immunity. She never got it. She kept talking anyway. Kenneth Barnes talked. He confessed everything. He said diehl-Armstrong masterminded the plot. He said the money was to kill her father. He said he and diehl-Armstrong watched Wells through binoculars from a distance. He said they watched him walk into the bank. He said they watched him come out. He said they did nothing as the bomb counted down. William Rothstein said nothing. He was questioned on his deathbed. He died of lymphoma on July 30th, 2004. He took whatever he knew with him. Floyd Stockton was granted immunity. He was never called to testify. He died of respiratory failure in 2022. In 2007, a federal grand jury indicted diehl-Armstrong and Barnes. Barnes pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to 45 years, reduced to 22 and a half, in exchange for testimony against diehl-Armstrong. On November 1st, 2010, after 11 and a half hours of deliberation, a jury convicted diehl-Armstrong on all charges. On February 28th, 2011, she was sentenced to life in prison, plus 30 years, no parole. Both died in prison. Barnes died on June 20th, 2019, small cell lung cancer. He was 64. Diehl-Armstrong died on April 4th, 2017, breast cancer. She was 68. Brian Wells was 46. His involvement remains disputed. The FBI concluded he was a willing participant. He was told the bomb was fake. He believed it. Jessica Hoopsick, a friend of Wells, confessed in the 2018 Netflix documentary Evil Genius. She said she gave his name to the conspirators. She said she received money and drugs in exchange. She said he had no knowledge of the robbery. His family maintained he was a hostage. They said he was forced at gunpoint. They said the bomb was locked to his neck against his will. The debate never ended. It never will. diehl-Armstrong's father, Harold Diehl, was never killed. The inheritance was never collected. The $250,000 was never stolen. The teller had $8,702. The FBI called it one of the most complicated crimes in their history.